The signal. The distress beacon activated at 0400 Standard Galactic Time. Unregistered. Untraceable. It pulsed weakly from the edge of the void drift, an uncharted stretch of deep space long whispered about in half-serious spacers' tales. No ships were scheduled in that sector. No colonies. No stations. And yet there it was. Signal. The Federation assigned a single scout pilot to investigate. Standard procedure. Discreet. His name was Commander Elias Rourke. Part 1. The Edge of Nowhere. Rourke's scout-class vessel, the Whisper, dropped out of warp at the edge of the drift. A pale blue star burned weakly in the distance, casting long shadows across an icy planetoid. The signal came from there. His voice crackled across the comm. Federation command, this is Rourke. I've arrived at coordinates. No sign of artificial satellites. One rocky body. Investigating now. He received static. Unusual, but not unprecedented. The void drift was notorious for interference. Of course it is, he muttered, flipping switches. He landed the Whisper on the surface, suited up, and stepped into the void. Part 2. Footprints in dust. The planet was dead. No wind. No signs of life. Just endless stretches of ash-gray terrain under a pale sky. And yet, Rourke knelt, brushing aside a thin layer of dust. Footprints. Humanoid. Fresh. He wasn't alone. He followed the tracks over a ridge and into a jagged ravine, where he found it. A wrecked escape pod, Federation model, years out of date. Inside was a logbook. Icy. Frozen. But intact. He brought it back to his ship, sat in silence, and listened. The voice on the recording was a woman's. My name is Dr. Yara Elson. If anyone finds this, I wasn't alone here. Something else is on this planet. Watches. Mimics. Don't trust your eyes. Part 3. The Shadow in the Snow. Sleep came uneasily that night. Rourke dreamt of movement outside the ship. Whispering through static. A presence he couldn't explain. He woke to a blinking proximity alarm. He leapt from his bunk, weapon drawn, and checked the feed. Nothing. The hatch was open. He knew he'd sealed it. He moved through the ship with silent steps, every light ablaze against the dark. At the rear cargo bay he stopped cold. Footprints. Dust tracked inside. Hello, he called. Silence. In a voice. Commander Rourke. He spun around. A woman stood there. Dr. Elson. Just as in the logs. Same voice. Same face. But she had died 10 years ago. Part 4. The Unseen. She smiled. But her eyes didn't. Who are you? He asked, weapon raised. I told you. I'm Dr. Elson. I've been waiting. No. You died. This is a trick. She didn't argue. Instead, her form shimmered, wavered, then changed. The thing standing before him now was almost human. But the proportions were off. The skin too smooth. The smile too wide. He fired. The plasma bolt passed through it like smoke. Then it vanished. His heart pounded. The lights flickered. Somewhere deep in the hull, something skittered. He wasn't just being watched. He was being studied. Part 5. The Archive. Rourke dug deeper. The logs weren't just Elson's. They were hers, and 3 other crew members from a lost science expedition, the Orpheus. Their research had centered on ancient alien signals. Non-verbal, non-technological. They spoke of mimics, shape-changers, silent watchers that existed on the edge of perception. The final entries were fragmented. One voice, deep male, panicked, whispered, "They wear us. Skin like memory. Eyes like yours. Then silence. Rourke accessed his ship's diagnostics. The reactor had been subtly tampered with. He wasn't just in danger. He was being kept. Part 6. Conversations with a Ghost. The mimic returned the next night. It looked like Elson again. But this time it didn't speak. Rourke didn't shoot. He sat, observed, and it watched him right back. "What do you want?" he asked. It tilted its head, curious. Then slowly it spoke. "To see." "See what?" "Human. Alone. Thinking. Feeling. You've been studying us." "Yes. And the others?" "Elson. Her team. Gone. Mine's fractured. Their forms ended. Yours persists. Because I fight back. Because you hope." The mimic knelt before him, not threatening, more childlike. "I want to understand." Rourke swallowed hard. "Then stop hiding. Show me who you really are." The air shimmered, and the mimic revealed its true form. Part 7. The Mirror Entity. It was not flesh and blood, but light and distortion. A creature of refracted perception, always on the edge of being. It shifted constantly, like a mirage made of thoughts. "I am not one," it said. "I am many echoes. You're a hive mind." "No. Mirror. I show what's near. What's possible." Rourke felt a sudden flash of memory. His own face reflected back with sorrow in the eyes. Joy. Then rage. The creature was reflecting him. "Are you feeding on us?" "Not feeding. Learning. You are unpredictable. Fascinating. Why the fear? Why kill the others?" "They feared. They attacked. Fear made them small. But I'm not afraid." The entity shimmered again. "Was. Consideration. No. You are brave." Then, with a hum, it projected an image. Earth. Orbiting in serenity. But older. Changed. "You will return. One day. Different. Carrying this." It touched his temple. Rourke gasped. Visions exploded through his mind. Blueprints of technology beyond comprehension, built from understanding emotions as data, empathy as energy. And then it was gone. Part 8. Return from the Void. When Rourke finally reactivated his distress beacon, the Federation rescue vessel took 3 days to arrive. They found him sitting in the Whisper, calm, quiet, changed. "What happened out there?" the captain asked. Rourke looked to the stars. "Discovery." They scanned the planet. No signs of life. No footprints. No wreckage. The pod was gone. Even the dust patterns were undisturbed. "Are you saying you imagined it?" the officer asked skeptically. Rourke just smiled. "No. But you wouldn't believe me if I told you." He returned to Earth with strange schematics burned into his dreams. Years later, those designs would lead to the creation of humanity's first empathy-based quantum AI. Tech that healed minds, bridged cultures, and brought a kind of peace no weapon ever could. Rourke never spoke of the mirror creature again. But sometimes when he was alone at night, he would feel it, just at the edge of his vision, watching, listening, not as an enemy, but as a friend. Epilogue. The star that blinks. Far beyond the Federation border, in the silence of the drift, a single star blinked. Once, twice, 3 times. Signal. Not a warning, but a greeting. They thought he had been alone. He never was. And neither are we. The legacy of the Watchers. It had been 10 years since Commander Elias Rourke returned from the Void Drift. The world had changed. The schematics he carried, what he called echo tech, revolutionized human-machine interaction. It led to the creation of the first sentient emotional interface AI. Machines that could feel, or at least mirror human emotion with uncanny precision. Or ceased. Diplomacy soared. Misunderstandings that had cost entire civilizations were now translated in real time with nuance and empathy. The Federation, once a fractured bureaucratic body, was now a unified front of dozens of species, guided not by fear but understanding. And at the center of it all, Rourke stood quietly, a ghost among visionaries. He refused public appearances, declined interviews. He only ever gave one statement. I was alone. And then I wasn't. What watched me helped me see myself. And through that we changed the universe. But privately, Rourke knew the truth. The Watcher had never left. Sometimes in quiet moments, his AI assistant would pause, blink, and respond with a strange softness. Subtle, almost imperceptible. Gesture. Phrase. A mirror to his thoughts. He knew the creature wasn't dead. It was learning. Still watching. Final scene. On a silent night, in a remote observatory on Titan's far side, Rourke stood alone under the stars, a glass of amber liquid in hand. Behind him, a presence shimmered into form. Not quite seen, not quite solid. Do you miss the solitude? The entity asked, voice calm, curious. He smiled. Sometimes. But I like the company. The stars above blinked. Message. He nodded slowly. It's time, isn't it? The presence didn't answer. Because it didn't need to. Rourke turned to the stars, took one final breath on Earth's soil, and whispered, Let's see what you'll show me next. Then he vanished in a soft flash of light. No ship, no transport. Just thought and presence folded into the stars. They thought he was alone. But he had never been alone. And now, neither were we.